All right, hundreds. How's it going, Warren?
Yeah, I'm good in yourself.
Nah, I'm good, man. It's good to have you on here. I'm you're one of you're definitely one of the most inspiring people that I know. There's no doubt about that. I just want to
Thank you.
quickly get to the questions here. All right. So good to have you on, Warren. Thanks so much for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. It's good to actually feel alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, alive and kicking in a different sense to how I previously was, or how my body condition was, how my mind was. So yeah,
Look,
it's good.
look at you now. You even got dimples here.
Yeah, I've always had them, but they've been hiding for many, many, many years. It's my
That's
draw card, my dimples.
yeah. All right, cool. So let's hear then. What was your life like before, like even considering that you want to get serious about your health and your weight loss and everything.
Yeah, I think. Well, I know I thought I was leading the normal life, grafting Monday to Friday, going out on the weekends, jolling it up, having bras, having drinks, going out to nightclubs. I thought that was the way forward for many years, and I just packed on the pounds, month by month. I just literally put on weight, so it just was getting too much for me. It was just affecting me mentally. I wouldn't, especially when I moved to the UK, I wouldn't want to go out of my place. I wouldn't want to go to the shops. I would just buy food online and get it delivered to my place because I was just too embarrassed with the outside world, what people would say, because being a bigger person, you walk in the shops and you can see all the kids and the parents nudging each other, like talking about you and that. And I could sense that. And it was embarrassing and it wasn't just good for my mindset either. So I became pretty much a hermit where I didn't want to leave my front door. I would make plans with people, but then I would have a bit of a mental struggle and just back out of it and come up with an excuse and say, no, I can't make it. I'm not feeling well, or I've got work, or something like that. I just wasn't being true to myself. I was letting other people down, and most of all, letting myself down because I wasn't in a good physical or mental state.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's I just want to check something here. It sounds like there might be something up with the audio. Let me just check here. Is it fixed, Seb? Okay, cool. It's all good now. All right, cool. So then when did you realize, okay, it's time to do something about this?
So it was about last year. When did I go to New Zealand to see my mom? I think it was May last year. I was in New Zealand. I hadn't seen my folks for 5 years. They had immigrated back to New Zealand, and my mom and I just had a reconnection. There was just a couple of hard chats and a bit of encouragement, what moms do. I started eating better with her while I was there. We took a few walks, had some chats and that. And, when I finished that holiday, I got back and I looked at my pictures that I'd taken, and it was just so embarrassing because I could see my stomach hanging out, my shirts at the bottom, and I was like started thinking to myself, no, this is just embarrassing. And I had a few people around me as well, trying to be nice and diplomatic, not wanting to hurt my feelings and putting it in a nice way, like you need to do something now. So with the NHS, which is the National Medical Scheme here in the UK, I started seeing an obesity nurse. And I
Right.
always in my head, I thought I weighed X amount. And when I went and saw this lady, I called her the fat news nurse to add a bit of sense of humor to it. Um, and I weighed myself. I weighed probably, I think it was 28 or 29 kgs more than what I thought I weighed. and I was well over the 200 kg mark at that stage, and I was like, no, this is ridiculous. I'm either gonna die of a heart attack or something else was gonna happen to me. And they gave me a diet plan. I started following that diet plan, and then the injection became quite popular at that stage. So I started doing my research, who was the best provider, what to take, the best one. And I got the injection, started taking the Manjaro injection. You start at the lowest dosage. Each month you can either go up a level or stay on it, or depends with you, how you're feeling. So I started taking that again because of how I am as a person, a little bit ill-disciplined at times. I wasn't dieting properly with that. I was still overeating. And I slowly got into it. And then once I started seeing the rewards of it and I was losing weight, then I started dieting even better, eating better. My appetite was suppressed, but I started eating less and that as well. And I started losing weight because of the injection, and what it does, it suppresses your appetite. So yeah, that was a changing moment for me. It was just a stage of embarrassment, battling to even tie my shoelaces, put socks on, that sort of stuff. Childlike things you should be doing naturally. I couldn't do those things.
Wow. And when you started taking the injection, that you could see, okay, so it's possible, and you got a taste of, like what it's like to be a bit lighter and to be a bit more mobile and so on.
Yeah. So it was just rewarding. I got more motivation. I could do more things. My confidence was coming back slowly but surely. Yeah. So it was.
And then, I mean, what eventually, I mean, you were on that injection for quite some time, and then at some point, you must have realized that it's a quick fix, but there's obviously, you've got to, there's a more sustained kind of way of getting your health back, which is essentially what is really needed for weight loss, right? I mean, it's literally, get your health back and the weight drops off. And then you approached me about, like trying to get on more of a healthy type of diet. Like, was there some kind of shift there, or was it just that you noticed that I was getting results, or were you looking for a healthier option?
It's a bit of a mixed bag of things. Ironically, I'd known you for quite a while, and I'd been following you on social media, and a good friend of mine based in Johannesburg had done your plan as well. And she had spoken highly about you and told me about the results. And so I started watching your videos more and more. And as well, on the backside of that, the injection price just went up extremely. They probably added 30-40% onto the price. And I just wasn't prepared to pay that exorbitant amount anymore.
Yeah.
So as much as I knew it was doing its job, it was also making me constipated. I wasn't going to the toilet properly. My kidneys were also starting to hurt quite a bit as well. So, there was other complications that came with it as well. As much as it gave me a mental edge because my confidence was getting back a lot more, there was other side effects as well, like runny tummy, vomiting if I overate. Slightly overate, I would literally spend the night on the toilet, vomiting or going to the toilet. So I just thought that there has to be another way. I've lost. They always advertise losing 25%, 30% of your weight, which I had done. So it was now time, because my confidence was up there. My current directors were always encouraging me to start walking, get out walking, start a little bit. And it was a mental battle I was having with myself again, with saying, I don't want to go walk on the street because people are going to verbally abuse me or something like that. So I eventually did start walking, and that was just led one thing to another in terms of fitness. And it was a good avenue to also get off the injection as well.
Right. I mean, was it explained to you in the beginning what the side effects were of the injection? Were you aware of it, or did you just start to feel it?
I just they give you their terms and conditions and tell you that these are the possible things that could happen, or
Right.
depends on the person themselves or how you react to medicine and that. So I was aware of it and that, and it's the risk that I took with taking the injection and that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then since starting, the Best Body Health Coach program, what is the biggest plus point, and are there any negative points compared to doing the injection?
Um, we'll start off there. Oh no, negatives. It's there can't be any negatives if you're losing weight naturally and you're putting good food into your body, good vitamins that your body needs. There's no
Right.
negatives. On the positives of it, it was, I never was one to eat salads and that, because it was just an understanding of like, oh, what's a couple of green leaves going to do for me? That's not going to fill me up. It's not going to, like, ever. What's ever lettuce and chicken
Yeah.
going to do for me? That's not going to fill me up. It's how
Yeah.
we programmed as humans. We programmed as humans. You've got to have 3 meals a day: lunch, breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Yeah.
But you don't actually have to do that.
Yeah.
And I learned that on my journey. Eat when you want to eat when your
Yeah.
body telling you they need food, but put the correct food into your body so your body can recycle that and put in the right nutrients that you need.
Right. Correct. And I mean, did you also, okay, so then you came off the injections and then you started with me on this program. And your obviously your appetite had been suppressed due to the GLP-1 hormone in your intestines, which the injection kind of enhances. Um, Now, since you've been on this program with me, have you found that your appetite has still not been like you're not being ravenous all the time?
I could feel my appetite came back, but my appetite has come back, but I've been putting the right food into my body. So whenever historically I would always go grab a pie at the garage or
Hmm.
something like that, or a packet of chips or something. But now when I want something, I make sure I've got chicken and I've got some eggs or something like that, something that's good for me to eat.
Right. And then once you started feeding your body properly, what kind of like did you notice like a difference in your sleep or in your mental clarity? You know, any kind of changes like with that not kind of really connected to weight loss, just general health improvements when you started doing that?
Yeah, first of all, with regards to my sleep, I've always battled to sleep because of being obese. I would always, as I call it, dent the bed. My mattresses wouldn't last. I wouldn't be sleeping properly because of being overweight. But when I lost weight, I was probably sleeping maximum still the same, six, maybe at a push 7 hours, if that. But the sleep you could feel when I woke up was a lot more intense. It was a lot. I could feel that I'd had a good sleep. I was waking up with loads of energy, and that just talked to my work day, because even my workers, my colleagues, they said, "Geez, look at this guy walking around now so quickly," and that. And so it's the sleeping part has improved so much, and I still have a few bad sleeping nights. Like this
Yeah.
weekend, I was a bit excited because I was going to the rugby, so I was up early, needed to get my steps in, everything. So, but it's sleep has definitely improved. And as you've taught me and educated me through your program, that our body actually repairs itself when we're sleeping. And it was also still an education for me, because I was like, okay, let me rather sleep for 2 weeks or something, because then I'll get better quicker. So
100%.
yeah. In terms of, I used to battle with like fatigue. It was a joke amongst many people. I could sit anywhere, be at a bus stop on the side of the road. Within seconds, I would be sleeping. I would be conked out like that. And that for me was just because of the fatigue and my body not being in a good state at that time. So that has, I could even be sitting at my desk at work and I'll be nodding off. I'd like nod off and I wake up, could see like my colleagues are looking at me like, geez, this guy's falling asleep at work. So it's helped with that as well.
Excellent. I mean, that's great. And what about like being consistent, with the way of eating? Like, have you found that, like you've obviously set yourself a goal, you're inspired. I mean, there are obviously like emotional ups and downs as one goes through life, but how have you found your consistency with sticking to it, and like keeping that goal in mind and kind of walking that road towards that goal?
I've always been a determined person and a bit slow in the beginning to start off with, but once I get a hold of something and I see the benefits and the rewards in that, it just becomes a systematic thing for me. I'm a very programmed sort of person, and I like to be planned, organized, and like food preparation. That was always my downfall when I tried previously to lose weight. I was never prepared with food. So now I'm prepared. I've got my food ready for when I need to eat, and that I've got stuff ready. So it works like clockwork at the moment for me.
Nice. Okay. And then, have you found like, you said you started regaining in confidence when you, when you started to lose weight, like at this moment in time, like, how are you feeling about that? Like, are you like compared to what you were before you started your whole weight loss journey, right from the very start? Have you found that, your what would you say your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10, if your confidence level was, say, 1 at the beginning, when you started the weight loss?
Yeah, I'm probably close to 9.5, 9.75. I've always been a very confident, cocky, cheeky person at times, but my confidence level is on a different level now. I'm extremely confident about my situation, about the people around me, my support system, where I'm going in life, and I just believe in health as wealth. It took a long time to understand that, and a long time to understand we are what we eat.
Right.
So yeah, confidence is back at another level.
Nice. And can you see yourself like getting down to an ideal weight? Is that real to you now? Like a real nice ideal weight?
Yeah, that's a manageable weight, a presentable weight to everybody, where I'm not going to get abused or chirping or looked at when I'm out and about. So I'm already at that level, but I need to get to a more sustainable, manageable weight to continue leading a better, confident life.
Nice. That's so cool. And I mean, since we started this program, you've also started exercising quite a lot more. Like you got yourself an exercise bike and you got yourself a little gym there. Counting your steps. I know that you go for a walk as often as you possibly can. How does that make you feel? I mean, those are small little wins which help move a person forward, but how's that making you feel? Okay.
With regards to the walking, I mentioned it earlier on.
You can go.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just my internet went down for a sec there.
Yeah. All right. With the walking, it's been. If I'd only known that the walking was so beneficial ages ago, I would have done it ages ago. And as I said earlier on, I'm that type of person. Once I get hold of something, and I just want to keep on going at it. It's been an addictive nature. I like to look at it. I've always had my life, whether it was drinking, jolling on weekends, and now I'm into the walking. I do these little walking challenges. Well, it's not little walking challenges. It's 2 miles a day. It's 3.5 kilometers, I think it is. And And I found I did one in September. I did that, and then when I wasn't doing one in October, I became very lazy. Much as I was still losing weight and eating right and that, but I was just the exercise stuff wasn't happening. I got, as you said, I got a stationary bike. As you know, I do a couple miles on that, and now this month of November, I'm doing another walking challenge. So yeah, energy levels are, I love it now. I actually can't wait to get home and to do it. On weekends, I get up in the morning, and that's the first thing I smash out. I do that because it's the excitement. It's knowing how good it is for me. So
Yeah. And I mean, you sent me a little picture of you the other day sitting in front of the TV with your legs crossed, and you said you haven't been able to do this in years. Like, have you found that?
yeah, I think if I had to put a time scale, I was probably, what am I, 45 now? Probably over 20 years ago, I could do that, where I could cross my legs. I've always been a big boy, but it was at another level where I was a bigger boy. So, even like now, I can bend over, tie my shoelaces. I sometimes on weekends I'll take a long drive to Southend-on-Sea. I'll throw my chackies or trainers in the back of the car, get out. I can now bend over, put them on. Previously, I'd have to sit on the couch, bring my one foot up, put my shoe on tight. Now I can bend over, put my socks on, tie my shoelace, that sort of stuff. It sounds small, but it's huge things for a mental boost and confidence levels as well.
100%. I mean, anybody watching this, you would think that, like if you can bend over and put your shoes on and you do that every day, it doesn't seem like such a big thing. But when you haven't had that for 20 years, it's like, whew, it's a massive thing. I mean, I remember injuring my back and not being able to bend over and put my shoes on, not even being able to put a pair of pants on without sitting down, And when my back injury was kind of handled and I could do that, it's a big one, and people don't understand. It's like, it's the same kind of thing as when you injure your pinky, and you can't use your pinky. And then you realize how much you need it.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything without your pinky, And it's
everything's there for a reason.
Yeah, it's the same kind of concept, So all right, cool. And then if you were to, would you recommend this to anybody else in the same situation as you are? Like, what would you say to a person who's sitting there watching this and going, like, I don't know, there's so many of these weight loss, programs out there. I mean, on this program, we also try to educate you, so you can get more in control of your situation. As so there's also the daily aspect. What was it that you felt that made this successful as a whole? This program.
It's a pretty basic program. It's pretty straightforward, simple. With you and your team, there's just so much information as well available at the drop of one sentence. Nick, I'm battling with this. Okay, have you taken your potassium capsules for today? How many have you taken, Warren? Have you taken this? Have you eaten your lettuce, because that's got X and Y and Z in it? And I think that's the problem with a lot of other diet programs that are out there. People are sold that they need to go out and buy X, Y, and Z to get this onto the program. With this, it's just basic, simple foods that you need to outlay for. It's not expensive. It's vitamins that your body need, and that. And the way I see it is one less packet of cigarettes, one less pint in the pub to go buy your monthly supplements that you need. That's been my approach I've had to it. So yeah, it's for me, it's cost efficient. There's information like I said, at your disposal, or the drop of one sentence, one voice note. You've got something available to send across to us.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a no-brainer for anybody that who's looking to better their life, better their health situation. Well, you're only going to have a better life if you better your health situation, and because it just talks to your confidence, it talks to your physique, it talks to everything. So yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer because, as I said, it's cost efficient. The knowledge, the expertise are there, and it is. You don't have to prepare all these fancy gourmet meals and get all these amounts of calories in, and that's calorie deficit, and that it's above my IQ level. That stuff I don't understand it. And for me, this works for me because it's a couple chunks of handful of salad, so much protein, etc., etc. It's straightforward, simple.
Yeah, exactly. There's no like no complications about it. Just kind of understanding what the different types of food groups are, and how much you should be eating and what they do to your body. Basically, I mean it's as simple as that. And like looking at it from the point of view of what were these bodies designed to do? How were they designed? What kind of food were they designed to eat, and how frequently? And if you just basically do that, you should be A for okay. And I mean, obviously, people have different things wrong with them because of circumstances in their life. But generally, when it all boils down to it, you need your protein and you need your fats, and that's basically, and your greens, and that's basically it, And all right, cool. So then, what is your how much weight have you lost since you started? Like, not the program, since you started losing weight, how much weight have you lost?
At the moment, it's 77 and a half kgs I've lost. That's since last year, July.
That is amazing. That's literally an adult human.
Yeah, I've done that scenario a few times when I've told people. They say, "Oh, that's almost my weight," and I'm like, "Well, that's you literally what I've lost." Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, that in itself must take like massive stress off the skeleton, off the bone structure, off your knees, off your back, and it must feel amazing.
Yeah, it's my body just feels so. It's just it's actually, you can't describe it. My body just feels. I'll be able to bend my legs. I can now put my hand behind my back and scratch it. Can put it behind. I can now scratch my back. I used to have a long wooden claw I used to use, but now I can use my own hands to do that sort of stuff. Things like that. And I always battled with, from when I used to play rugby back in the day, I twisted both my ankles. So I've battled with my ankles, but then the excessive weight put extra pressure onto my ankles and onto my knees and that. And these days, those problems are few and far between. I had an ankle issue a couple of weeks ago, but that's because I slipped, my own fault. But I don't have any knee joint problems anymore, any ankle problems. Even my lower back, I've always, from a car accident, I had a lower back problem. That's also slowly but surely starting to sort itself out as well.
Good grief, that's amazing. Well, I tell you, Warren, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. I like you're I've put thousands of people through this program, and there's I mean, a lot of people. When I say 80% of people who really stick to it, they get the benefits from it. And then there's a small group of clients that I've had who absolutely stick out in my mind, and you're absolutely one of them. I mean, I'm always inspired by this. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I absolutely totally understand the situation that the person on the other side is in, and what they're trying to go for. And that's why you probably found with me coaching you, there's probably never once that you felt you'd been made wrong by me. Never once where you felt like I'd said something which was made you feel bad, for instance. I think
never.
Yeah, and I think that's, that is kind of my belief with all of these guys is, these oaks are all trying to achieve something here, and they've, and that in itself is so valuable. Just that decision you know, and a lot of people can't step up to making that decision, you know. And the fact that you've done it, you've stuck to it, it's like a year now, and there's still more to go, and you're going all the way, you know. And if you look at it from the point of view, you're 45 now. 47 would be probably a realistic time where you would be back to a absolute ideal weight with the skin shrinking and everything like running the way it should do, you know. It's like and in fact, you could look at it from the point of view, wow, that's like a year or 2 years from now. It's actually not a long time. I mean, it's not a long time, you know,
around the corner.
Yeah, you've probably added 10 years onto your life just in the last year, you know, like you've got 10 years longer to live now, you know. So
when I get on the scale, it says that I'm 39, so I'll go with what the scale says.
Yeah. All right, cool. So thank you very much for coming on this podcast with me, Warren. I really appreciate your input. I really appreciate people like you. You're an absolute inspiration for so many people out there. And I see you on Instagram. I absolutely invite people to follow Warren on Instagram. His name's Warren Storbeck. You can see it in the bottom corner of his screen. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on Facebook. He's an inspiration to everybody, you know, and he gets on with this. He doesn't depend on some kind of free handout. He knows this is going to take work. And if you need to be inspired to be better than anybody else, or the way you think you are, Warren is the guy to sit and watch. I mean, I see you every day on Instagram or on Facebook, you know, putting something on there, and just so that you know this, me and thousands of other people see it. They may not click on it, but they see it, and you don't realize how many lives you change with your story. It's amazing. Like, I even find with me, you know, like I look at what I do, and then I see how many followers I have, how many people are looking at what I do, and so on. And then, you know, a year or two goes by, and then some guy will come up and he'll go, you know, like, I've been following you for like 4 years, and I lost so much weight, and you know, I'm like, I didn't even know the guy, you know. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, and to change somebody's life like that, and to think that you were involved in someone living a happier life. That's really what it's about. We all just want happiness, you know. I mean, that's why you're doing it. So anyway, thank you so much, Warren. I really appreciate it. I appreciate who you are, and keep going. We're going to be together, and I'm going to be backing you up all the way. And if anybody's interested in doing what Warren's doing, you're welcome to contact me. I love what I do. I love to see people like you join us and do what it takes to get more healthy. So we'll chat again probably tomorrow, Warren.
Yeah, regular morning catch up.
Yeah, and just so that you before you go, is there any like closing message you want to give the people out there?
Yeah, just you know, 2 things: health is wealth, and you are what you eat. And
so don't eat turkey.
Yes. And you know, if anybody thinks they can't do anything, send me an inbox message. I'll give you my number. We can start chatting, because I've been to some very dark places, not just with my weight loss, drinking, going out on weekends. If I can lose 78 kgs almost in just over 12 months and improve my life, there's no reason for anybody else not to give it a go. All I'm asking is people just to try. Just give it a go, and you'll see how life improves.
100%. That's 100%. I mean, it's just give it a start. And the nice thing about this is there's fast results. You know, if you really like do the right thing, there's fast results. So it's easy to stick to when you see those results, if you're serious about it. You know? Nice, Warren. Thank you very much. We're going to chat again tomorrow, and have a good evening. Have a good night's sleep.
Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you for everything you do.
You're welcome. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bye.